Everybody, welcome back into the Play the Fight Song College Football Show. Another off-season week is upon us, but yet another night to talk college football here at Play the Fight Song, which is what we all do all year long. So make sure you hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button to the show so you can follow along with all of our off-season content. Got some awesome collaborations coming up. Fan perspectives are rolling. Still awaiting the Iowa schedule release video, which will come soon. But gentlemen, we are here. Everybody is here in the studio. Reese, JP, Jake, myself will take you through some college football topics tonight that you will not want to miss. Let's talk to the boys first. Reese in 1080p, 4K, whatever camera this guy's got you need. How are you doing? It's good to have you back.
We're good. Finally back. Yeah, we got the Shields like part-time life going on here in Des Moines, so got to work around that and everything. But we're good. Glad to be back. We got some takes tonight. I think I have a kind of a sneaky one. I think for a disappointment that I don't know if you guys will think of later. So kind of excited to see what you guys think about it.
Yes, tonight's topic is overachievers and disappointments through the college football season in 2025. We will cover both categories, but first we will ask a question, go around the horn. We want to hear from you, so drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you're thinking on whatever topic we're covering all night long. JP, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Got a good kick out of our friends from SV Pod, Stanford Steve and Van Pelt. They were talking about Groundhog Day and what that meant, and it was just Stanford Steve going on a rant on how much he hates Punxsutawney Phil. He goes, "If I saw that damn ground,
it's a liar.
I wouldn't harm it. I would just shake it really hard."
Especially if he picked winter.
I never saw that. That's good.
It's so good. And he's just kind of going through. He goes, "It just makes me mad. That thing, like it's always 3 weeks more of winter. There's never anything that says, oh, spring's tomorrow, you know." Belt's sitting in the background. He's just going, "It's not fake, you know that, or it's not real, you know that, right? It's fake. It's make believe." He just keeps hitting. He goes, "I know. I just want to be freaking mad about it." It's so good.
Let me be mad.
You know what made me enjoy that? Going off that tangent, they started the show was them complaining about like the winter storm in Maryland, the DC area, and how they can't figure out like the ice and snow situation, and school's been canceled for like 2 weeks because they don't know plow. Like made me for once want to brag about living in South Dakota in the Midwest. Like when snow comes on the ground, like we just scoop it up and we move on with our lives. But everybody's like melting down and nobody knows how to handle this situation.
That's underselling it. Like the Midwest, there's prep work, dude. Like if there's snow in the forecast, there's trucks out there laying salt. Like not today, not here. Those people are all over it. And
when I was down in Texas for the 16 weeks or whatever for like my medic training, it got to be below 40 like for a good week. You wouldn't believe how people were. There wasn't even ice on the road. People were driving like there was snow falling. It was like your F-350 can handle. It's cold outside. There's no snow on the ground. Just drive. What are you doing? And like we couldn't go outside. They were like, "This is so cold." I'm like, what the hell are we talking about here, people? Like,
we're built different.
They think the world's shutting down. They see that tire pressure light, and it's like the check engine light came on. They're like, "Why is my tires low?" Well, it's just that's what happens, man.
They're cold.
It'll be all right. You'll bounce back. But I think there is some sunshine and a little bit of warmer weather, or at least
I'm walking around with my shirt off tomorrow. Like it's supposed to be like 50 degrees and sunny.
60 degrees. Let us on the golf course.
Yes, sir.
Man, I forgot you live in Mexico.
Sunny California. I'm going to be out there. I might even get all my yard work done. I might even mow just because I can.
I have 48 tomorrow. Somebody let us on the course.
Yeah, no, there is courses opening up around Omaha. Golf season right around the corner. You got to golf during the off season in college.
Waste management open tomorrow. Waste management week. It's not Super Bowl week. It's waste management week, fellas. No, I'm not.
Around the corner.
It's not a frat, bro.
More beers. I'm 16th hole. More beers.
To be honest, it's just that the golf is back. Like the golf atmospheres are actually back. They've had a couple of tournaments up until this point, but it's like nobody cares. Clearly, it's still January, but like this is kind of the turning point. Like we're officially in. It's like counting down to the Masters week after this week for us. A couple of us
a little bit this weekend and be like, "Oh, that was cool. That was cool." Oh, college baseball. The week after, I'm good.
But the problem with college baseball,
no, there's no problem.
It's not on TV.
No problem.
Like it's no problem. It is put on the back burner literally up until May. Like it's never on TV. Nobody talks about it.
They just released a TV schedule. It's like every Tuesday
I mean,
through
on, like,
Saturday.
ESPNU and
It'll be
stuff.
on.
I feel like the
And-
SEC network and the ACC network do a pretty good job of getting
Also
it out
true.
there early.
Yeah,
I mean, these
it's easy to
early season
find.
tournaments are flow
You don't-
baseball
yeah.
and random stuff.
I feel like you don't see much
Easy
Big
to find.
10 or Big 12 on TV much. It's your SEC and
No,
Yeah.
why would we watch a heated rivalry battle in college baseball when we can rerun the 1992 Ohio State Michigan game if I'm the Big Ten network? You know, you've got to think those through.
Yeah,
At the end of the
Iowa
day.
hosting Loris on a Tuesday doesn't really draw a lot of people in.
They play
That's fair.
Loris.
Yeah, they'll bring in like Warburger and Loris. They'll play one of the American Rivers teams every year.
got to get some feel good in there. Like, so that's what they
That
did.
counts
in,
for a win.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you get a certain
NCAA.
amount.
What?
You only do it like once, but yeah,
So
people do it all the time.
You know, I was
Not
looking
the
at
older
we're,
ones.
now we're getting off a tangent, but this is fine. This is the February show. I was looking at South Dakota State's basketball schedule. They played 3 NAIA schools. You can count
I
those.
don't think all of them count.
They're 11 and 13 now, and I'm pretty sure they all count for their wins. How do those?
Didn't Drake basketball just play like Simpson and somebody else in the state of
Yeah.
Iowa too?
Is that
Yeah.
legal?
That can't. That should never count.
No, that should.
I don't know, Jake.
But
We need you to get on the roster. Could have
166
put up a couple.
Division I basketball teams out there.
You had to see
You
one
can't
go
schedule
through.
one of those teams.
Jake, how many you put on South Dakota State if you are at Dakota Wesleyan? How many you put?
If I'm at Dak West, well,
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting a couple of free threes off, so I'll make a couple of those. Like they're letting me shoot, and I'll make like in men's league, I'm like 1 for 3 usually on a good night. That's fine by me. I'm
That's a
not.
good
I'm not a
night.
guy who
That's a
lives behind.
great
That
night.
means shoot again.
That's a great
Yeah,
night.
I'm not a guy who lives behind the arc, but I'll get a couple, and I'll
Oh,
make
if I'm
one or
playing
two.
pickup and I miss my first 2 shots, I'm a distributor. I become UPS.
He
dude.
immediately
I
gives
relate
up.
to that. Yeah,
He
I
gives
relate to
up.
that because people are going to stop passing you the ball. You keep
Yeah.
shooting and missing. So like you miss your first couple. We've established. I'll earn it back by facilitating. Right. We'll get the ball down here to Jimmy in the corner. I got Steve on the block. Throw it down there. I earn my trust back by facilitating basketball. I like what Party said.
You know,
And then you
I'm
throw
bad at
something on the
that.
outside, and Steve's hitting his inhaler on the sideline of the 24-hour fitness.
shout out. We got to give him his flowers. He probably won't listen, but friend of the podcast, Max in men's league. I mean, he's probably I before Monday, he's probably 1 for 15 from 3. I mean, it's
I thought
it's
Max
horrendous.
was a hooper.
And he started working
More
out a
than
little
me.
bit. He's getting in shape. He missed his first 3 on Monday, hits 1 immediately. Next possession, touches it, going up, knocks it down again. Just feeling it. We're
Can't
down
make
like,
him if you don't. You can't get hot if you don't shoot.
I was going to say, I'm not a basketball guy, but isn't that a thing where like the bad play, like you're only bad if you stop shooting? You got to believe in yourself.
that's
Just keep
yeah,
going.
that's
check.
100%. It's a mental thing. You guys would know. You
Yeah.
play other sports, and then we're down
Right, man.
15, and that's perfect time for Max to get back in his groove. He hits about 3 or 4 more when we're down 20. Carry that into next week. He's going to be ready to go.
He goes, we
It's all
lost
about
today, but
building.
I started to feel it late there.
Yeah.
All right, gents, let's move it over to college football. Let's talk the question of the day, which is a great one. And this can kind of cross different areas of the sport. It doesn't have to be in media. It doesn't have to be on the field. It could be a uniform. Could be anything. But what is your college football pet peeve? Something that really grinds your gears, Jake. And GA
lead
comes
off
in
with
first to
GA.
lead it off. We'll let him
We'll
lead it
leave-
off.
well, yeah,
says
he
his pet
commented
peeves-
first. We'll let him go first.
Yeah, too many off-campus games, he says. There can only be so many Red River shootouts and cocktail parties. It's fair. We are a show that really pitches for on-campus games. The game is
Mhm.
better when there's student sections and people involved, and it also
Charlotte
let
versus
ticket
West
prices get
Virginia and
$4,000.
Virginia versus West Virginia and Charlotte this year. Just,
yes, not on campus in Charlotte either, which is
Texas A&M,
Utterly
Texas A&M and Arkansas would always play at Jerry World or something.
That
like
one,
too.
Yes.
I
They
understood
went-
a little
they moved-
more.
but they moved it
It's
back. They played in
the-
Fayetteville this year.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Like that's one too.
It's
Where I was like,
the-
that's a head scratcher.
It's the weird early season ones that like don't make any sense. Like we playing in a game in Atlanta, we're doing a
Cincinnati,
game
Nebraska,
in
and Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just a payday for a lot of those schools. The only reason they do it. That's a good one though. That's a good one.
That is a great
Ten-
pet peeve. All right,
Tennessee,
let's.
Syracuse in Atlanta.
Yes, that was
Nashville.
really.
That was a
shitty one.
great call, guys.
Nashville always hosts a 1 or 2. It feels like.
Yeah. The Chick-fil-A one.
Yeah.
Yes, the kickoff game. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Good one from GA. But let's go into our picks. What is your college football pet peeve? Jake, you're up first.
How much time do you guys have?
I
You can only
enough
give one
time. It's our
time.
show.
We'll have
No,
time.
I have
Scott,
I have
one
one,
through
but I'm asking
six.
I'm asking how much time do you guys have? I
We'll
actually
go around the
have this,
horn.
I had this down before. Actually, it's funny. All the news came out. What was that, a day or two ago? For me, it's the calendar, the college football calendar, and specifically the college football playoff calendar.
It's a large pet peeve. Now, it is something small, something like little, like, you know, the entire
Go big or go home.
I mean, isn't it a pet peeve if I kind of think about it like every other week?
Beyond a pet peeve.
And it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I ask you guys how much time you got. If you want, I can list you my calendar that I put together, but I don't want to waste the listeners' time either if they don't want to actually hear that. But
Our show, Jake. Let it rip.
Our show.
They're curious.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's fill people in. It's recent news, right? If you lived under a rock, the College Football Playoff announced its calendar for the next 2 years, and they never said anything about the first round games, on-campus games. Those are going to remain the same. I believe it's usually like the Saturday before Christmas. They'll keep those the same. Fellas, the quarterfinal games this year, they're playing the first one on Wednesday night, December 30th. There will be no college football on New Year's Eve. That alone is just catastrophic news. It's an absolute disgrace to the sport because New Year's Eve has always had, usually in the 14 playoff, we used to play our 2 semifinal games on that night. We used to play bowl games on that night. Maybe there will still be a couple of bowl games, but they're all leading it up. They're all leading it up for that nice, Commanders Panthers game Thursday night between two teams who are 7-10. And it's going to be absolutely disgusting. So it makes me upset that they've moved it to that. On top of that, the semifinal games are on January 14th and 15th this year. So that is a full 2 weeks until we see another college football game. And then 10 days after that, like they did this year, just a disgrace. They're playing it on our Monday night. That's a pet peeve in itself. They're still playing the national championship on a Monday night, January 25th. And we talked about it, how it's too much time in between. It takes the luster away from the national championship game. It's gross in itself. Let me see here there it is. Okay. So my first proposal would be moving, quote unquote, week 1 up to week 0. Now, I understand college football kind of gets its own week to itself, Labor Day weekend. The NFL doesn't start until the week after, and they play games on Monday night, whatever. Why couldn't you do that in week 2? Like, there's no problem in doing that. You move, everybody's basically on campus by the time week 0 starts anyways in August. You move fall camp up. Most teams are used, or at least a few teams are used to starting fall camp either at the end of July or right when August gets started. It really doesn't change anything. You get 2 bye weeks, which I think even this year, are they doing 1 bye week? Like, I know Iowa State's schedule, they're sitting at 1 bye week. So maybe you just keep it there.
1.
If you play the week 0 game, you get 2. I'd even say, like, if we played at week 0 as week 1 bye week, everything stays the same. I would say, and this is the big controversial one that I sent it to Justin. We had a little conversation on it. I think Army-Navy should be a standalone game the week after Thanksgiving. You're still playing up to Thanksgiving. This also goes into account my calendar because it's inevitable. The playoff will expand. It's going to expand to 16 or 24. At that point, if you get to 16 or 24, especially 24, you've already heard my stance. Get rid of conference championships. There's no point to them if you're letting that many people in. The top 2 in basically every single Power 4 conference should be in this expanded playoff. That makes 8 first-round games if you do a 16-team playoff all on campus. You do that the original like conference championship weekend. The following weekend, you can get into, what would that be? The quarterfinal games up until that point, after right before Christmas. And then that leaves you like your semifinal games on New Year's Eve, like it used to be in the 4-team playoff. And then you could play your national championship. If you wanted to do it on Monday, it's not my biggest gripe, but if you're waiting until January 25th, that's my gripe. If you're going to play it Monday, January 11th, after the first round of the NFL playoffs, have at it. Like that is fine by me. Like, you're still close enough between the bowl games and the semifinal games where you like totally don't forget about the sport and you're actually ready for a national championship. I think the buys in the playoff system, I would just say the bye weeks in the playoff system, they're absolutely killing us. I would say all bowl games start after the first Saturday in December. Like, what did we play? Washington and Boise played. God, that was pretty early, like December 9th or something.
10th. Yeah.
Yeah. Start them. Don't start all of them, but start a good majority of them on that Saturday, December 9th or whatever have you. And then I would just say the championship game, again, you make it either you could fit it in with this calendar. You could make it New Year's Day if you really wanted to, but if you waited until the week after, that's fine. And then the portal, it kind of still leads it up to being the portal open from the 2nd to the 16th. Pretty manageable. A lot of teams are done with their bowl games by then. A lot of teams are out of the playoff because you're only left to the semifinal games left on New Year's Eve. So then you've only got like 4 or 2 teams left in that are still playing. And then if you want to give them that grace window like Miami and Indiana had afterwards, where you're still playing till January 11th, and then those guys can hit the portal fine, but that leaves you up until January 2nd and January 16th for 97% of college football teams to do their work and do their portal visits, do it quickly. I thought it was quick. I thought it was efficient. Honestly, it was chaotic. It was fun to talk about, and guys can still be on campus because, you know, they're student athletes first, right? And they can still be on campus ready to start classes, because a lot of people don't start classes until, like, Iowa State didn't start till MLK Day or after MLK Day, like this between the 20th, 27th, whatever have you.
Late.
It was a little late, but a lot of colleges are kind of moving it towards that way anyways. So basically the only thing I really had changed was move the season up a week, limit the bye weeks. Like, I would say still 1 bye week for every single team. You'll survive. You're playing 12 games. You're not playing 16, 17 like an NFL schedule, and you'll figure everything else out, and you'll be done with college football basically the 1st or 2nd week of January. And I think fans want that. We always want more college football, clearly, but I'm a little ashamed that the championship game didn't get as much of its hype, I guess you would say.
The steam rolling into the games matters for sure.
The game delivered this year was fantastic, but imagine how many more like eyeballs and people talking about it and people putting the spotlight on the sport had we not had so much off time. It's more like people were like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot that was tonight. Like, let's tune into Miami and Indiana and go from there. So I guess not a ton of big changes, but though just some little tweaks where I think this could be a whole lot better.
I don't think it's far off. I think it would be probably a common pet peeve, or it will become a common pet peeve within college football fans as this progresses. It seems to be further and further away from the start of January from what we're used to. Any feedback on Jake's? Any pushback? Do you not agree with the CFP calendar really being?
No, I just laugh at, like, what's your pet peeve? The entire calendar. Jake's got an entire problem, not a pet peeve.
365 days of the year.
Problem. Yeah, a tussle.
I think it alleviates. I mean, there's a lot of issues. People complain about the portal and the money and all that stuff, and that stuff's fine. And people can complain about it. Parks and I did an entire episode on how I think the love of the sport's still going to be there. It's not going to change that much. There's little things like the calendar and the committee just absolutely dismaying everybody's opinion on things that I think will actually piss people off for the common sports. Because, guys, let's be honest, 90% of college football fans' teams are done playing after the 1st of January. If you still want the overall casual college football fan to still be invested, don't drag it on. Like, keep the momentum from the season. It just felt like that national championship game this year. Like I said before, that game compared to the Iowa State, Kansas State game in August felt like 2 centuries ago. It did not feel like the same season.
I will give you that. It does feel like when those highlights come back and they show them, they're like, this was the first kickoff of the college football season, and this was the last kickoff of the college football season. You're like, that was 3 years ago. That's what I thought when I saw the Iowa State, Kansas State highlights pop up for the first time. But let's move on to somebody else's. Let's go to your pet peeve. JP, what do you got? Is it the whole calendar?
Jordan.
Yeah, I got some. Mine is a little more media based, specifically announcers and other places. If we get 4 weeks into the season at a minute and after, we can no longer refer to someone as a transfer. I can't be sitting.
You got firsthand.
My dad complains about that all the time. Time.
It's infuriating. I get it. Like, when you're starting out early season, right? People are learning rosters. You're figuring out who's who. But if we're into mid-September, or not mid, like late September into October, that's out the window.
Or
There's
JP.
6 games under their belt. These guys play for the school they're at now. Stop doing it. We're in bowl games, and they're like the transfer from like no.
Well,
He's
how
been there
about-
and played 14 games.
How about the ones where they like somebody played with so said team a year prior, transferred 2 years ago, and they'll still mention the fact that this guy was a transfer from wherever school. It's insane.
It's annoying. I understand it's like a fun fact about them, but at some point they are a part of this team. They are this team. Refer to them as such, right? Just give them like anybody else that started there as a freshman. They're this is their stats. They're from here. That's it. We do not.
That's a
need to
great
call
one. And
everybody
very
freaking
Iowa
transfer.
applicable, because Mark Gronowski this year, I mean, I remember it was like week 6. They were playing, I think it was the Indiana game, and they put up his South Dakota State stats like on a graphic in the middle of the game. I'm like, what? I mean, he's played 5 games now. He's got statistics we can share from this year.
It's infuriating.
It's a great
Mark Gronowski, the Hawkeye, not the Jackrabbit.
They brought it up, I think, legitimately every single game.
They
that
do
I
it with
saw anyway.
like even if a guy makes a special teams tackle, they're like, "Oh, so and such from Transfer University." I'm like,
What
why
about
do you
Sam?
need to mention that? Was that important to this play he just made?
What do you say about Sam Levitt next year? The Michigan State, Arizona State transfer? Like,
No,
what do you say?
they'll
to
say
those-
Arizona State.
We will
Former
be
Big
in
12
week-
champion.
We'll be in week 10, and they'll have a big game. It'll be like a top 15 matchup, and he'll drop back and make one good throw or scramble drill, and they'd be like, "Levitt, the Arizona State transfer." No, he started 9 games here. He is an LSU Tiger. That is what this is.
Maybe they'll get better at it. I think maybe, is it like a little bit of a physical drawback or just a muscle memory type of thing with your voice when you're like the old transfers? They used to have to sit a year, and then they're like, hey, if you remember, you haven't heard of this guy, then it made sense. But the way it's transferring now, that's a great call out. That is a easy pet peeve among others, I'm sure. Reese.
This one kind of ties with all of like the NCAA, I would say, is like with the way realignment and conference and everything happened, like the fact we only have 4 power conferences, like there's no more Pac-12. I think that is mine. Like it is next year, but like it's not. But like Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC. Like, why are they going to Maryland to play a football game? Like, why is Cal and Stanford going to South Carolina to play a football game? Like that.
It's just like
it makes no sense. Like football, it can work because it's a big grabber, but like I think the thing about college football, like you have your rivalries, which makes it so special. Like your Big 10s and your Big 12s, like regionality is huge. Like Nebraska playing Colorado, like they're close by. Like that rivalry makes sense. How does an Oregon fan care about going to Piscataway? Like that just doesn't sound like anything that sounds interesting. Like how does because like was it Miami? Like how much? Like was it 2 years ago? Went to Cal to play for like. There was that graphic, like the bus driver had to drive all the way from Miami to Cal to get like the equipment there. But it's like, what do these fan bases care about this game? Like, wouldn't you rather see Cal play? I guess Stanford's still in the ACC. Would you rather see Cal go play Oregon or Wazoo or somebody like on the West Coast for like I think regionality is a big thing too. Cause like Iowa State, like things that within your like people you can like talk to, like you can kind of shit talk with something like that. Like that just makes it more fun. I just hate the fact that we have teams literally going across the country to play football games. Like, I don't like that.
The other night, Big Ten Network had USC Rutgers basketball on, and I'm just like, Big Ten basketball, Rutgers USC.
What are we talking
as God
about?
intended it to be, right there. That's the purity of the sport.
That's a great point, though, because when you're walking around as a fan, Reese, and you see somebody at the store that may have, like, if I'm in Nebraska, they may have a Colorado shirt on, and you're like, there's that stupid bastard. It starts the fuel of your fandom, right?
Yeah.
If they're walking around in a Rutgers shirt, which I remember there was one, I have seen a Rutgers fan in the city of Omaha before, just the one, and I'll never forget it. It's just, that guy must have went to Rutgers or something.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he would have ended up. And so
Hey, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
Are you here for the football game?
Is that one of those kickback racks at Marshall's? They sent it to the wrong store. That's a great call out. I love that one. All right, let's keep going around the horn. Does anybody else have another? I know you guys had full list. JP?
I have a minor one. Go ahead, JP.
Script on helmet, that's too small. You can't read it.
Example?
Right? Everybody wants to do script now. Northwestern has a really
Is that a
bad
shot
one.
at Iowa State?
Oh yeah, very.
No, there's
that
this.
wouldn't
There's
count.
this
Iowa State's is
teetering.
fine. Iowa State's is
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine, but it's
I think
teetering.
it's decently big.
That's barely a script, by the way.
It's
not
not
that
tiny
big.
though. You don't. I
It's
think would
pretty
you rather
small.
be too small versus too big though?
No, you want it. You can
That's
read
small
it.
helmet,
Look,
Jake.
go
Put
look
that
at
on.
Northwestern.
But if
They
it's,
have
like,
one that literally
scribbled.
spells out Northwestern. You
It's very
can't read
small.
it. It doesn't work.
So only
but-
short name colleges can have it.
well, that
Or they should do
or
cats.
you just find a way to change it. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
tough
cats
for
one.
me to sit there
Arizona
and
does
read
that.
a 15-letter word. Like it just doesn't work for me.
P. Crow Armstrong.
So
jersey.
that's one of my pet peeves. And then the multiple mouthpiece trend is coming along.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so
yes,
stupid.
yes.
So stupid.
And then they don't use either of them.
Yeah, it's just
both
like the
dangling
colors.
They're both dangling. What?
The colors
What are
of
we
the
doing, man?
opposing teams that they'll put on. Some of them do that. I don't. That's
Well,
such
that's
a.
true.
I feel like that's such a boomer thing for us to complain about, but it's true. It
No,
is
it's
true.
not because it's
Wasn't there-
obnoxiously ugly.
Wasn't there like a short stint, and this may have been like youth football. I can't remember. Maybe I just saw it on like a YouTube short. Wasn't there a short stint of like pacifier looking mouth guards where they made
yeah.
it look like a
I had-
pacifier?
Yeah.
I had like one in high school, not the pacifier thing, but like it. You put it. I don't know how to explain it. It had teeth.
It had a
I thought
hole
I
in
was.
it,
I
yeah.
thought I was cool. You put it.
You
Yeah.
also
in.
had the flash cleats, Jake.
Shave had the flash.
Those were,
Put that out
those
there.
were also
Yeah.
cool.
Hell
Shut
yeah.
up.
There's ones that
those-
had, like,
for the-
the
let me see if I can find a picture here. I'll put it up.
There's
on
ones
the
that had like
podcast.
spinners in it, like you would have on wheels, where like when you breathe,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
would like spin like a fan.
The trends
Yeah.
are
I gotta
endless,
find
and the double
it's-
mouthpiece trend is definitely one that needs to be addressed.
Also, you get lit up and you bite your tongue or you bite your lip or something. You're gonna wish you had a mouthpiece in. I feel like that is just the forgotten idea. Those help so much. You're
I
just
think I just truly enjoyed. I remember back when I played it, just enjoying chewing on the mouthpiece, like you put it on the side of your mouth and just chewing away, just chomping away. So I mean, I was always a mouthpiece guy.
I got another like random media one. This also just goes for like a lot of sports, but I think in college in general, I can't stand it when player makes a mistake. Like was it Malachi Tony fumbles a football? He's distraught, like in shambles. And the camera guy's like, yep, him right there, the one that's upset and crying and visibly upset. Should I keep the camera on him so we can all watch him? Like, why are we watching this 20-some odd individual upset and distraught? Like, how about we go back to the game or we make this kid not like the biggest piece of crap?
Or they'll split picture in picture and somebody's
Yeah.
just beating the shit out of the bench. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
like, what
stay
are
on
you
him.
doing?
Roll camera 5, but also the game's going on. Stay camera 5.
The 45-year-old running the camera, he's like, yep, the 20-year-old that's crying and visibly upset and isn't happy. I should keep the camera on him. Yep, got it. Good, good, good. I'm staying right here. Take the
See if
camera
I
off
can-
him and let's watch something else.
Let's see if I can pull
That's a
this
fair
up
one.
here without.
That's a very
crashing
moral
the show.
one for you.
What
What
is
are
he
you
trying to
pulling up,
say
high
Jake?
here?
ground.
I was trying to pull up the flash cleats for those on YouTube.
Oh my god.
You're like the Cam Newton, like rain
yeah.
boot.
No,
height.
I tried to
flash
airdrop it. Yeah.
Shape, you gotta
tried to
bring, Shape, you gotta put your background of me and you, man, celebrating that tutty back in the day. Dude.
Yeah.
I'll give mine in the meantime while Jake finds the photo. Mine's a little bit more fandom based, and this is maybe just social media poisoning my brain, but also like the big brands do it too. ESPN, College Football, and Fox. And I've obviously noticed it very often now with Nebraska's losing streak of 28 games against ranked teams. But just on the grand scheme of it, is fan bases creating narratives to fit it. Like they'll be like, oh, you're 1-7 against us in the last 8 games. And because there's a win in the middle, it's like, I love how you just looked at the last 8, nothing before that, even though you've matched up 40 times. So the fan base narrative really grinds my gears sometimes. Like we cut the line there because before that it was irrelevant. It didn't matter. But now that we're winning, this is the timeline that it all works out. Because like Nebraska's 28 game losing streak's never going to be fixed. And Iowa started down the same path now too, because they've lost 11 or 12 straight ranked games. Even when they get one, the next ranked games, Iowa's 1-12 in their last 13 ranked games. Like those are never going to die. When Nebraska does break that streak, the tweet after the week after will say they're 1-30
Oh,
in their
my
last
that-
31.
That wasn't it. There you go, right there. Can you zoom in? I don't even know how you. I don't know how
I
to
don't
do
want to
this.
zoom in on
You
you.
see him right there.
Look at this.
Zooming on his ass.
Someone
Yeah.
needs to blindside that kid.
Hey, we won that.
Yeah,
we won
I
that
probably
football
got
game.
absolutely decapitated
We
there
won
at
that football game, no
170
big deal.
pounds. But those were actually those cleats were cool. Not the specific, but like the Under Armour high top cleats.
I had
Those
a
were
was a
fire
fan.
cleats.
I'm
I was a
glad
fan of
my one pet peeve I saved got its thunder stolen by Jake's Flash cleats. I didn't have that on my bingo card for tonight's show.
Breaking
But all right,
news.
somebody else. Who's you got another one up there, Jake?
one that's not an entire problem with the entire sport.
Yeah.
Just a pet peeve.
No, I love the sport in general. I don't have anything to complain about.
How about you can't be a fan of your school because you didn't attend the school?
That's a great one.
That's a dumb one. That's a dumb one. Yeah.
That's the dumbest one.
Well, that's a great point. Sorry, is what I meant.
Another one that may be a stretch, and you could disagree. This could be one that goes back and forth, but I do not like white uniforms at home. LSU,
Like away.
Yeah,
away
I don't like it.
you should wear purple.
I also don't like the Cowboys when they do that. I think it looks dumb.
It
That's
is.
really
I also had the
awful. That's
realization
really
that Cowboys have baby blue pants this year, but that's a different
Georgia Tech
story.
does it too, by the way.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
also stupid because they have awesome navies and awesome gold jerseys. I will never subscribe to that theory. I would rather have both teams wearing a home uniform, but wearing white at home is one for me. For sure.
Random one. What do you guys think about like preseason rankings and like if we just didn't do them until like week?
I've
I don't know,
always
like how about like end of September? Like let us
Yep.
play 4 or 5 weeks and then you can make a determinant.
Is that a pet peeve, Reese?
That's what not like this is just like because it can be because at the end of the year you look at at this time we beat, week 2 we beat number 1 Texas, who like yes they were a good football team, but like what were they really numbered like at the end of the year were they that? Because I think you can like hindsight is always 20/20. Yes, you play the teams that are in front of you in your schedule, but like I mean, look at like obviously like what happened with Penn State and Clemson. Like those were so high on early off, but like you give time to develop. Like those are still big wins. Like Oregon winning and happy, like that's a big win. Like Ohio State beating Texas at home, that's a big win. But I mean, I think if you give yourself time for those rankings to kind of develop and see where those teams are, you might have a better understanding of even like the Miami with Notre Dame and A&M at the beginning of the year, or like Notre Dame with A&M. Like I think those two kind of just help develop. Like if you like let's wait till the end of September, middle of October to be like, okay, like this is actually what we think of it now, and then you can have your college football power rankings at the end of the year that the college football playoff comes up with. Like those might mean more too, I think.
Say
Fair.
Fall weddings. That'd be your biggest.
You can say
college football pet peeve. Fall weddings.
that's not a pet peeve. That's just incorrect. It's just you're a loser
true.
if you
That's
pick.
true. That's true.
I will give one, and this was another one that is uniform based, and I will have people that disagree because a majority of the sports and I guess purists, which we claim to be, would hard disagree with me on this. I will not be taken back by the crowd that tells me that the traditional helmets of schools, just because they've been around a long time, are better than some others. Example A, people telling me that Alabama has a great helmet. It's not. It's not.
I kind of disagree there.
See, that's fine. It's
I
just
kind of
Arial font
disagree.
on a maroon helmet, and it's never changed.
I'd rather have
a tradition. It never
I'd
changed.
rather have a Sparky
not a great
or Orc helmet from Arizona State.
I'm
Great.
not saying it's
Great.
cooler. I'm not saying it's cooler than an alternate helmet, but I appreciate that they've never changed.
Yeah,
I guess
we're not saying you need to change it, but let's not flaunt it just because you've had it. It counts as top 10 in the
But
sport.
people do. Like, if there's a conversation about the best helmets in college football, Alabama will be on that image or one of the options, and it just should never be. It's cool, fine, great. They've had
The
it
Penn
forever.
State one
That's
looks
awesome.
better because white and blue looks better.
Blank
than
helmets
that.
suck.
That
If you're not
crimson
Notre
and
Dame, you
white.
shouldn't have a blank helmet.
I say
I
besides
wholeheartedly mean it.
Notre Dame, I would say, yeah. Well,
What
what
is it,
about
high
like
school JV football?
USC? Do you not like I love their logo. It's
Yeah,
traditional.
but it's a
great.
logo, not a number.
It's a logo.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
not
just saying
Bland helmets should
Penn
never
State,
be in the conversation.
Alabama.
Is it a hot
I
take
would
to say?
classify Nebraska as a bland blank helmet. I think like it's just basic. It's boring. It's not that great. It's not sparky on the.
But I mean, at least you have
yellow
at least have
helmet.
you have an N on there. It's not just like
Right.
numbers and blank.
Penn State, terrible. Will never stick up for them. Ohio State, okay. You get the
I like
decal
that one,
bumpers, but like it's just
I
basic.
like the Ohio State lids. It's also a color thing. I don't think Alabama's colors work well with that style. And then I think Georgia Southern, which is the same style helmet, right? Just numbers on the side with the blue and the white looks a lot better. But it's just opinion based, probably.
I don't have one. But
Michigan, I will count as like the one standalone.
Yeah.
That I'm like, all right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of Michigan.
Ohio State.
The wings.
I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like the decals.
You don't like Delaware's helmet either, Reese, or Princeton?
Not really. Or Princeton. Aren't those the only three?
The winged helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I would ask you guys. I don't have one, but is there a? I guess JP kind of nailed it with the one where you got to attend the school to be a fan. Is there any other like fan pet peeves, like requirements that you're not a fan if you don't do this, or you must do this if you're at a game, like if you must do this sort of tailgate thing if you're at a game, any sort of kind of that
I
way,
run
like,
into that.
I haven't. I'm just kind of spitballing where I'm like kind of thinking about my thoughts of like,
Are you saying like to call yourself a fan of said
Yeah,
team, or like,
yeah.
oh, you go here on this game day, you have to do this? I mean,
you have to do this, or you're not a fan,
I mean,
or
it's not. I don't really think I've ever run into it, but I'm sure there's people out there who like I spend more money for the university or at the university or donate more money, so I'm a bigger fan than you, and that's not really
now I
fair.
got one.
I don't
That
think
did
I've run
spark
into
like
that,
2 or
but-
3 other.
I've got one now. Nope, I have just popped in my head. This happens at Iowa State all the damn time. Fans that complain at other fans that are standing at a game in front of them.
Oh yeah.
That drives
yelled
me.
Hey, can you sit?
It's insane.
Nobody's in front of your TV, sir. Not a single person would be standing in front of your TV.
Thank you. Like the fans that yell at other fans who are standing and cheering at a sporting event. That's might be my biggest pet peeve.
it's a good one.
I also will spin off that. I think fans at a game. I mean, hold on. Jake pissed me off so bad with that one that I can't even.
It's bad. Okay,
It happens to me.
Give him a minute. Give him a minute.
No, it happens to me.
I've had both. So I've sat everywhere in the stadium. Like I've sat in the club seats at Jack Trice, and I get it. Like you're in kind of a small space. It's kind of indoors. It is kind of like sitting at home. If you're standing up being obnoxious, like nope, everybody else can hear you in that room, and you can't really make that much of an impact with your voice in the stadium. So if you get upset there, I kind of understand that. A lot of high dollars. But like if you're in the stadium, if you're in a regular bleacher, I don't care if you're in row 1 or row 37, everybody in that stadium is entitled to stand and cheer the entire game. Like we got like Justin's been really good at doing this, and I like going to games with him because he doesn't care. On defense, like we don't normally sit down unless we're down 20 and there's nothing to cheer for. I get that. But like first down through third down, we're standing and yelling and cheering, trying to disrupt it every time. And basically at Iowa State, like if you stand on first or second down, you're the enemy. Like you are annoying. You are disturbing the view.
It's just a college football fan base trying to learn how to win games. I mean, they haven't caught up. Still new to this, Jake.
It happens at Hilton too. And Iowa State's won in basketball for decades. And we get on that soapbox all the time when we're texting
We probably need to hit Parks's and then get into the actual.
Sorry, yeah, Parks.
Yeah, I have one more. And on this one, I literally will go to war for. And I hear it more than anybody because of the sellout streak. Whether or not you think it's fake, I don't care. Just the general, well, what else is there to do? When it comes to
you're in the
people
Midwest.
going to games.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, they're at Nebraska games. They put 80,000 in the seats every week.
Yep.
Well, what else is there to do?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ann
They do
Arbor,
that
Michigan
everywhere.
has a million fucking things going on.
State College,
Great one.
Pennsylvania.
It's a great
Like,
one.
what are we doing? There, none of these places have Columbus, Ohio. That place is just
They're
a
college
travel
towns.
hotspot.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I think that just might be a Midwestern thing. That's their go-to, right?
The
What
US,
else
like
is there
the
to do?
USC's,
People
USC's,
come
Miami's.
from
they
Ohio
love
State
saying
fans
it.
will say that.
Yeah.
Even Miami. What are you going to do at 11 a.m. or noon on a Saturday? You going to go to get some mimosas at brunch? You couldn't do that after? It's 3 hours.
It's gonna be 70
That is
degrees
not an
tomorrow
excuse.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go, well, we have a beach. That beach will be there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like, that is not an
All
excuse
summer.
I will willing to hear.
That's good. That's a good point.
What are you going to go to Six Flags? I will fight those people until I can't anymore because that's all that people say about the Midwest. And I guess we hear it more often than not. So just grinds my gears to the
Great
fullest.
pull.
All right. That is College Football Pet Peeves. Let us know your pet peeve in the comments. If you're watching us after on replay, listening on podcast, go to our most recent YouTube video. Let us know what your pet peeves are. We want to hear them. We'll share them on the show. Let's go into the point of tonight's show. Let's talk overachievers and disappointments within the college football season. Again, fellas, this is an open table. Doesn't have to be a particular team in their performance. Could be a player, could be a coach. What do you got for us, JP? You're up first. All
What are
right.
we doing?
What?
Which one are we starting with?
Oh, we're starting with overachievers. We'll start positive
Okay.
and end negative.
Start happy? Okay, starting
Yep.
happy.
I just got to make sure I have the right one pulled up.
Let us know in the
I'm gonna
comments, by the
start
way,
here.
who's an overachiever in college football? Go ahead, JP.
I went team wise for both of mine. I think it was easier to kind of wrap it up in that form. Wake Forest. I have Wake Forest here. It's a team that went 9-4, 4-4 in the ACC, a bowl game win over Mississippi State. In Dickert's first year, they had a win total of 4.5 to start this year. This is a team that had Ashford at quarterback. You knew they had some talent in the backfield and Claiborne. And it just kind of like scared early. I think Kennesaw lost to him by 1. It was like 10-9 was the final in week 1 between these two schools. And they just kind of started to win some games. And then they were battling with some teams. And then they'd sneak up and about got a couple teams. And it just kind of carried over. And you're looking for them to kind of fall off, and they never did. So to go 8-4 with a bowl win in first year for Dickert at Wake Forest, I think is huge, right? And they didn't really do it in a pretty way. They weren't really like, wow, it was good offense, it was great defense. They were kind of middle of the pack in everything. So 44th in scoring defense. Nick Anderson, one of their better players, all ACC, 107 tackles, 30 team sacks, -6 in turnover margin throughout the year. Damon Claiborne, I talked about earlier, was just under 1,000 yards. And then, they moved the ball pretty effectively, but it was also like the Robbie Ashford experience, where it's kind of like sling it around the yard a little bit, make all your mistakes, and what happens, happens. And they didn't really go into a spot where they turned it over to the defense. You're like, oh, they're just going to shut them down. That wasn't really the case. Sometimes they get in high-scoring games where they couldn't get a stop, but they kept scoring. And the other side, they end up in games where they couldn't even score a little bit. The defense looked great. It was weird, but it's also a good thing that Wake
9 wins.
took advantage of the schedule they got with the ACC and won football games. Picked over a little bit through the portal, though. They had some big pieces portal out. Mateen, I don't know how to say this last name, Jake. Ibaragaba, the kid that went to Texas Tech. Chris Barnes, their leading receiver, is now at Oklahoma State. And then they also had a redshirt sophomore or a true sophomore tackle that's now at, I think, Texas. A lot of pieces moving in and out, but they bring in some pieces of Gio Lopez to play quarterback next year. So we'll see what the experience is in year 2.
I'm sure Gio will pop up in another conversation of court transfers you forgot about. Gio Lopez will make that list. All right. Next overachiever in college football will go to me, and that will be, fellas, I mean, it may seem chalky because it's a conference champion, but how about the Western Michigan Broncos out of the MAC conference? Pick 7th, over-under win total in the preseason at 6.5. He gets double-digit wins, including a conference title. And they, again, it wasn't like pure domination through the conference. They just got it done, and they could barely throw the football. It's quite the run. So Western Michigan, as a team, massively overachieved their expectations in 2025.
Yeah, the offense wasn't impressive, but the defense sure was.
I'll say they definitely. I mean, after I think they lost to Miami of Ohio one of the first weeks in conference play, but after that they were really dominant in the MAC, and they just kind of turned.
But it was
around.
Dominant in the fact that they were up 7 at the end of the first quarter, then they were up 7.5, and then maybe they were up 20-7 in the third quarter, then they won 27-7. Like they weren't like blitzing you out the building early.
No,
yeah,
100%. Jake, overachiever.
Yeah, this team was pretty much perfect all year. They didn't play Texas Tech, and it's BYU for me. I think their over-under win total was 6.5, and a lot of people were going under after the Retzlaff situation when that happened in late July, early August, and a lot of people were writing them off with a freshman quarterback in Bear Bachmeier, but they were just really good all year long outside of, again, playing Texas Tech, who was one of the top 8 teams in college football. Every single time it felt like Arizona, Iowa State. I feel like I'm probably missing another game in there where they were dead to right on the road, and they came back, clawed their way in, and they fought and they won these games. So to not lose to a single other opponent outside of Texas Tech is just really impressive. And it just goes to show the job Kalani Sitake did with that group. A lot of good players. We're going to look back and be like, well, they did have those guys. How do we underestimate them? But they did lose a lot of guys from the year prior, and it's like, could they run another 10-win season back? I just don't know if it's feasible with the style of play that they did, because it wasn't flashy, it wasn't pretty, but they just kept winning football games every other weekend.
The Colorado one, Jake?
Colorado was another one. Thank you. Yeah. Those were 3 road games. They were down, I believe, double digits in all of those. Came back and won them.
I think it's just preseason versus postseason narratives. You can say they overachieved, right? You lose Retzlaff to that situation, and it becomes, I hope we can get to a bowl. We don't even know what to expect from this team anymore. We expected highly of, and then the postseason, we're like, that team could have probably got in the college football playoff, and nobody would have batted an eye without.
A lot of people thought they deserved it over Alabama.
Yeah.
Also, the overachiever thing isn't necessarily like, oh, though they overachieved, that team wasn't as good as we thought. That's not necessarily what we mean in this case. It's relative to postseason expectations and even like midseason expectations as this group just kept getting better and better.
We should have decorated this entire episode like a work review. Like anybody in corporate America, like your work review exceeds expectations, achieves expectations. Just did not meet expectations. Reese, your next pick and your overachiever.
Well, the thing that going into Schaefer's thing too is you had a quarterback wearing number 47 for BYU already going to the beginning of the year. So
that's got to stop.
That's an issue. That's a problem. Like also, I didn't believe in BYU. But to go off of Schaefer's, best pick he had, like Virginia. I mean, they were picked to be 14th in the conference last year. They finished second. They had 3 overtime wins, and their 3 losses came by 1 score each. And I mean, it was Duke in overtime in the championship game, the Louisville, and I'm forgetting the third one. But it's only their second 10-win season in program history. No, they beat Florida State in double OT.
Oh, sorry, you were naming their losses. I apologize.
Yeah, they're another. They went 3-9 last year. I mean, Chandler Morris throws for 3,000 yards. Jamari Taylor rushes for 1,500 yards in that backfield, like Tony Bennett. It's a program where Virginia, they kind of, who was that lefty how many years ago? For Virginia.
Brandon Armstrong. Yep,
there we go. Where it's like it's a Virginia program where like every once and then they're just kind of going to make themselves relevant, and you never know when it's going to be. And like Schaefer had like, what was it, 9,800 to 1 to win the conference or whatever it was.
1,400 to 1. 9,900
I don't remember. I don't know.
You imagine it basically was that high.
Whatever. But Virginia, this was a team where like looking into this year, especially in the ACC, where we thought it was going to be kind of top heavy with like Clemson, Miami, for them to do what they did this year, and again, like to win those many games as they did, and especially the 3 overtime wins, like that's a mark of a good team to be able to go into overtime and win those football games.
I know our TikTok edits days are coming to an end, Jake, of player highlights, but the fact that we had a Brennan Armstrong mention, like that we may just have to clip that with some highlights.
just throw in like the 2
I can't believe that we got it.
Like calls me like I was like that lefty from Virginia.
What was
his name?
Brennan Armstrong, and then it's I walk the lonely road. Yeah, that's exactly what needs.
That'd be sweet.
Absolutely, but that's a great pick, Virginia. What a season they had. I mean, a couple plays away from the college football playoff. Another team that was right on the verge and had no business being a part of that conversation in the preseason. JP, your next pick.
Yeah, I got honorable mention here. Troy, 8-6. They were 8-4 in the regular season. Over under of 5.5. This is a team that just has seen turnover. And you weren't expecting much out of them this year. You kind of thought they'd find their footing and battle a little bit. Then they go through quarterback injury. They played Crowder and Gilchrist this year. And another team that wasn't like really great at anything. It's a pretty average to below average defense, and that sometimes the offense was the same exact thing. Like there's no Kamani Vidal coming out of the backfield here to save Troy in this situation. Okay, receiving core, they kind of get hit by the portal again, but they just found ways to win. And the fact that they went and played for a Sun Belt title and then went to a bowl game and they lost both of those, but you're 8-4 on a team that was expected to go 5-5 and not really leaning over in very many places. I think that's worth a mention.
For sure, worth a mention. I'll kind of spin that off. I went an individual player with mine. Fellas, how about just the general story of Drew Mestemaker at North Texas? Because going into this season, when he was their next starter, right? We got to see him in the bowl game in 2024. He wins MVP of that bowl game in their loss. And you're like, all right, maybe they have a quarterback to replace Chandler Morris and the decent amount of success they had offensively. But we didn't know Drew Mestemaker was going to turn into the 5-star transfer quarterback. No. Like one of 2 5-star transfer quarterbacks in the portal this year, gentlemen. That's insane. And the kid didn't even play high school football.
people weren't necessarily 100% positive he was going to be the starter either. Do you remember who the backup was?
Reese Poffenberg.
Yep.
Albany, Miami.
He ended up somewhere else after North Texas. I cannot remember where he went.
I don't either, but I remember sending a tweet out about it because he
G5,
did back up Cam Ward. And then all of a sudden he becomes Drew Mestmaker's backup. And now we get to see Drew Mestmaker in the power four.
Poor guy, dude.
That kid, it's
Honestly,
Alex Moran.
He's just you want your quarterback to hit and be a star. You probably just sign Poffenbarger to sit behind it.
Yeah, that's a good recipe. We might have to post that because it's definitely being followed. But Messmaker for me over 2025, even past the expectations what we had for that North Texas offense. Jake, you got an honorable mention for you?
Would you guys say Vandy overachieved? 10 wins. I think they were sitting at like 6.5, 5.5 for that over-under win total, I think, again. And I know they ran it back with Stowers and Pavia, but we're like, it's Vanderbilt, right? Like, can they really do this 2 years in a row? And they did that and then some. They had, remember, their first 2 of 3 games were on the road in Blacksburg and on the road in Columbia, and they dominated both football games.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no slip up. There was no loss to Georgia State this year. They lost in Austin, they lost to Tuscaloosa, and then they lost to a good Iowa team in a bowl game. Like, they didn't have one bad loss on their schedule, and they dominated a lot of opponents. They absolutely crushed Tennessee in Knoxville, a rival that I'm sure that felt really bittersweet when they got that one done. And for the most part, I thought that team definitely overachieved this year.
Let me flash it back. Let's say 6 or 7 years ago. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that, but 5 years ago, right? Let's say 5 years ago. I come to you and I say, hey, this in 5 years, I want you to take Indiana's over, and I want you to take the damn Vanderbilt Commodores over in the same season. You look at me like, dude, what are you talking about? What's the over under 2?
Indiana's going to win 16 of them.
We would have thought
we would have 26 combined wins between Indiana and Vanderbilt.
You would have thought it was 2007 all over again.
What are you talking about, sir? I'm not doing that. Well, these brands come out of nowhere, but 100% you can say Vanderbilt overachieved. I think you can say that if they reach 9 wins at any point with the way their program's gone. Reese?
Same vein as Schaefer. I went with offensive coordinator Tim back there. I just think because it was Vanderbilt, you still have the name with you. Like, they were second in SEC in total offense. They averaged 38 points per game. Pavia's second in the Heisman. They ran for 175 a game in the SEC. They threw for 287. The Vanderbilt defense was very mid, if not lower pack of the SEC. 10-3 overall, 6-2. Schaefer mentioned the losses and like the wins too. Like, this team, it was the offense that carried them. And you had you lost by 1 to Texas on the road, and on the road. Then Pavia had the bad fumbles in the red zone. Like, it's a team that was never – the score was what it was for that Alabama game. But, I mean, they were competitive for a Vanderbilt Commodores football team.
You got to give the flowers where they're due. I mean, especially with Diego Pavia putting on for the Short Kings. We got 2 of those on this show. Reese, JP,
crazy
5'9" guys. The guy's balling out. That guy is putting on a show. What do
you want?
We're a short show now. That's what people are going to associate.
No, we're split. We're 2-2. I wouldn't. We got 2. We got 2 Short Kings.
People have never met me in real life. I'm 5'6".
Yeah, you are.
Shapes a
brain.
Shapes a tree.
All right, that's overachievers. Let's move to the negative side to wrap up tonight's show. Let's talk the biggest disappointments, gentlemen. And we could probably go on, and I know we said it in the pre-show, so let's cover it again for the clip. This isn't supposed to be your Clemson's. Yes, we know they disappointed. Your Penn State's, yes, disappointing season 100%. They could have played the national title come 8 months ago. Let's talk a little bit deeper. What disappointed you? What team, what player, what coach did you're like, they just didn't get to that point, JP?
Yeah, if those teams are the surface, I probably went about 3-4 feet deep here. Kansas State is going to make this cut, right?
Took mine.
It's one where a team goes 6-6, they're 5-4, the Big 12, and you just kind of forget about it. Even when they kind of hit their groove a little bit later in the year, you completely forgot about them. They were irrelevant, right? The loss to Army.
That game will make you sick.
Yeah, somehow got out of that game against North Dakota without a loss. Probably should have been. They struggled in a lot of spots. They rejected the bowl game, which is another thing. Win total of 8.5. A lot of people's pick to win the conference and make a Big 12 title. That's scratched quick with a loss in Ireland. but they come back and it doesn't even get remotely fixed. And it's one of those things where I think if you lose in Ireland, it's turned out to be like the worst possible case scenario for your football team. Florida State did it. Nebraska did it a couple years ago. Now Kansas State does it.
Northwestern won in Ireland, and then they came back to U.S. soil and never won a game that year.
That's great.
It's spelled that it's still spelled disaster for the loser
It
of
does.
what the season was to come. I think if we totaled up wins in a season for the loser in Ireland, it wouldn't be great. So
No.
North Carolina or TCU, hopefully you win that one this year. It's a team where Avery Johnson never really took the step forward. The defense wasn't as intimidating for most of the year in some spots. And
Okay,
I don't know.
51 to Utah.
It was weird. Yeah.
Kansas State had that game. They go on the road, put up 47 points and lost.
Yeah. And a climbing team, you thought it was going to be much, much better. Obviously, times have changed. 81st in offensive yards a game, 35th in yards per play, which is pretty solid. 91st in third down conversion. Woof. 76th in opponent yards per game and 41st in opponent yards per play. So, like, in per play, they weren't getting gashed, but they gave up a lot of points most of the year. They had turnover problems. They really weren't able to even get, like, the Dylan Edwards grab was supposed to really help. He didn't play very much. He's in the portal.
And not to mention that Army game.
They got a good run game rolling.
That Army game, I remember there was the night before that Army K-State game. I'm sitting in a bar. Kid next to me is a K-State fan. And I'm like, that was a tough loss, but you guys will bounce back. You guys still got some talent. And he was like, I don't know if we're any good, man. I'm going to the game tomorrow. So he was driving down to Manhattan. I go, it's Army. They just lost to Tarleton State. You guys will get that one. Get back in the swing of thing. Boy, oh boy, things to come.
The
Army
Go
goes
Army.
the opposite direction.
Go
I do
Army.
not want to schedule Army or Navy if I am a power conference team.
And
then they got hit by the portal pretty heavy too. Jace Brown goes to LSU, their top receiver. Toby Osama, I don't know how to say that last name. Jake, help.
Yeah,
Osunsame.
Osunsame.
He's in Indiana. Austin Romaine goes
He's gonna
to
be really
Tech.
good.
And then Chidi Obiazar also.
Obiazor. Yeah.
Like
They're both gonna be great.
depleted, right? So Colin Klein comes into his alma mater and has some rebuilding to do. And it's just, I don't know how you sit as a Kansas State fan to really be like, okay, well, it's all looking up. It's looking up because you have no idea what this year is to bring with this team. So it's a tough one.
Absolutely. Kansas State belongs on this list. Jake, what do you got?
That was mine, but I'll go a different direction. I don't really know what the expectations were heading into 2025, but after week one, the expectations rose, and Florida State is on my list of biggest disappointments in 2025. You get the massive win,
100% fair.
week one against Alabama. Now you're talking like, can this team bounce back? They have the talent. Can they run the ACC? They start off 3-0 because they played Kent State and East Texas A&M.
Weren't they ranked 8th?
Yeah, they were up there. And they proceeded to drop 5 of the next 6 ACC games, including Stanford, Virginia.
Somebody came in there early and gave it to them early in the ACC schedule.
Pitt, Miami, Virginia. Those were the first 4 that they lost to. They bounced right back and beat Wake Forest 42-7. So like the talent, I think, was always
Took
there.
Wake Forest that week.
At least to get 8 wins, but they
lost 10.5.
It just went from bad to worse. I don't know if you guys remember the NC State game when they played in Raleigh. I think it was a Friday night, and it was just summed up the entire year. I think it was a NC State punt, and it bounces off one of the protectors for Florida State, and the ball bounces back like 20 yards. NC State recovers, and then I think the next possession, the Florida State punt returner drops it too. It's just like summed up their entire season in 2 plays, and they just couldn't get out of their own way. They always had the talent to at least compete in the ACC, but yeah, man, it was ugly, and they decided they want to run it back again with Norvell in 2026. So let's see what's up there.
Reese.
I went with a team that actually on paper had a good year, but I think this side of the ball struggled. Literally, I had this guy as an honorable mention. I had him as an honorable mention. No kidding right there.
What happened to him is a fair question, by the way. Jade Knott came through the comments for all you podcast listeners. Thank you for the comment, by the way. Jade Knott 100% should be on this list.
I literally drafted him in our college football league because I thought he was going to be a stud. Literally, I'm thinking this team, though, this Oklahoma offense, I thought Ben Arbuckle and this Oklahoma offense Like we saw what he had with Mateer and Wazoo. Granted, you're playing the Pac-12. It's a little bit different than SEC ball. But like they came in and I expected this offense. Like we're familiar with the Lincoln Riley offense in Oklahoma and like the Heisman winners and like offenses being high flying. But the defense is the reason why that team made the college football playoff. Like offensively, this offense was 11th in scoring in the SEC, 12th overall offense in the SEC, 88th in total offense in the country. Mateer had 11 interceptions. They didn't exist downfield. Like they were never going to take it over the top. It was going to be little meshes in the middle, try to get the run game going. 38% on third downs. Like, and that defense, like I said, they were number one in the SEC. Like that is why that team made the college football playoff at the end of the year. I think offensively, that Oklahoma team was just not what they thought. If you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make the college football playoff. Like, okay, well that offense has to be relevant. Like we're gonna score 28, 30 points a game, and that was just not at all. It was that defense and that front seven being what that team was.
A lot of people had Mateer Heisman tickets preseason.
Yep.
Like it was that big of a hype.
And after week 4, they might even been bigger hype around the Mateer Heisman. All right, honorable mention time. Who's got another one?
Liberty.
Oh yeah,
Liberty.
You don't win Conference USA at Liberty. That's a disappointment, right? Like
let alone
consistently
go
flaunt
what they
the
go 5-7.
Yeah, flaunt the resources. They got more money. Traditionally better rosters than some teams, and they have not won one in 2 or 3 years, at least.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's bad.
I'll take a couple of. I'll take a player and a team here. DeQuan Finn, and the player he was expected to be.
Disappointment on many levels.
Yes, very many levels. There's an onion there. There's some layers to that one. But another team in the MAC I thought was just overall disappointing. Speaking of DeQuan Finn, Toledo picked to win the conference, right? Tucker Gleason coming back, all the hype in the world. Felt like they were finally going to put it together. Just couldn't get it done. Couldn't even make the conference title game.
Do you see I think he's top 5 in the country last year in drop rate. It was almost like 10% of his passes were drops.
Stuff.
Wow.
Got to catch him. But those would be 2 for me. Other honorable mentions. I know, Reese, you had mentioned Jaden Knott. Another one from you, Jake.
I'll just say Colorado State in general.
Jay Norvell at Iowa.
Yeah. Watch out.
Hey, he's not steering the ship. He's a part of the ship, right? We got him.
Fowler Nicolosi. He's going to come too.
Yeah. If he ever mentions anything in a meeting, I'm Kirk. I'd be like, just simmer down there, 2 and 10. Simmer down. Be quiet over there. Be quiet over there. This is how we do it over here. All right.
You know what's going to happen is Underwood's going to take a couple weeks. He'll have like something come up, and Fowler Nicolosi is going to start that game against Iowa in like mid-September. Big Ten opener in the Big House.
Is that where he ended up? Was Michigan?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh,
how about the slow head turn in that first meeting, Michigan. Jake? When Norvell gets up and he draws like a 50-yard pass on the board, and just the slow head turn from the room. Like, what the fuck do you think you are? Like, sit down. That's not what we do.
Halfback dive.
It's actually not a bad addition at the end of the day. Like he came from there. He's
an Iowa guy. I mean, good for him. Yeah, I don't envision him bringing the Hal Mummy spread offense to Iowa anytime soon.
The run and gun,
the run and shoot. Imagine? I mean, yeah, like that was their whole deal. You bring back Braden Fowler Nicolosi, you have this high flying offense.
Oh man!
And then it ended up being one of the worst offenses in college football. It was just an ultimate disaster.
You think Fowler Nicolosi got that 6-figure payday like he said he was 2 years ago?
Yeah,
$500,000.
K-State was offering him
$500,000.
Dude,
no, they weren't.
Taking that.
No, they weren't.
2 years ago before he had that first bad year.
But
yes, he was.
You're not going to make that at Northwestern Mutual right after college. So I would have taken.
You remember?
You can.
Do you remember they almost lost to Northern Colorado? And Northern Colorado hasn't won a football game or hadn't won a football game. And
no, they did lose to Northern Colorado. That was a bullshit call.
Yeah.
Yes, I have this stat because it happened and it was like part of our. I'm going to find it. Go ahead through.
JB looks it up. I have one more.
They hadn't won a game.
Go ahead, Reese.
Up until that point, like 5 days.
You want to talk about a quarterback who got paid a bunch of money to come play for you and was dog water? How about Malik Murphy, who got 1.5 to come play at Oregon State? They started off 0-7, and then he got benched halfway through the Lafayette game because they were losing 13-10. And then the backup came in and they won 45-13. Like I know Oregon State was not that great this year, but like you paid a lot of money for that guy, and it just didn't pan out.
I don't want to stir the pot because I know Oregon fans do enough of it online, but I don't see that Oregon State program recovering very well anytime soon.
Just didn't.
Yeah, it's just what a mess that is. And I guess I'll wrap it up before JP finds that one. I put him on the cover of the episode for a reason.
I was
but
gonna
I
say,
think
we gonna talk
anybody
about
could
him?
have put Nebraska on this list, right? Like
I have
that
it.
was. You have
Before we
okay,
go into
bring us
Nebraska,
that.
because I don't want to just
Yeah, go ahead.
to that point, when Colorado State played Northern Colorado, the Golden Bears were 7-38 in their last 45 games. That is a .21, 21% winning percentage. That's how bad they were.
Oh God. They actually did lose that game. Am I mistaking it for
Yeah.
another one? Like there was a play at the end where they got a call.
It was they had caught a pass, and the Northern Colorado player, I think, caught a pass in the end zone. They called it a drop, or it wasn't a full catch or something like that.
And
they
it was
awarded it to Colorado
incorrect.
State.
That was the most insane thing. Colorado State ends up 2-10, but good stat pull from JP there. That is that bad of a program. Back in what I was saying to end tonight's show, though, is I had Nebraska on the cover of the episode for a reason. I would put them on this list. I think the preseason expectation around Matt Rule in year 3 at any program he's been in for college sports was double-digit wins. He got the schedule to reach that mark where it was 103rd in strength of schedule. He got his big games at home, and then you go on the road and you lose to Minnesota in an embarrassing fashion. To end the season, you lose 121-46. You were outscored by opponents. You get drubbed by Iowa. It was disappointing all around, I thought, from Nebraska and their preseason expectations. And you could probably say that for the last decade, every preseason, because that's what Nebraska gets. But this one especially, that actually had the weight to it behind coaches with statistics, the players they brought in, your second year with your savior quarterback and Dylan Raiola. You had Big Ten running back of the year, and you win 7 goddamn games. I know JP argued it a little bit back with me in the group chat, but I haven't met a fan that said they were, I thought it was a fine season. Like, it was disappointing at the end of the day. I thought it was way less than what that Nebraska team could have accomplished. So I will leave that there. But all right, that's everything. I'm not sure where JP went, but we covered the overachievements in college football this year, the disappointments in college football this year. We talked our college football pet peeves. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you drop us a rating. Also, come to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking, what you think of the show, what we can do better. Anything you got, share it with us, because it is another long offseason ahead of us, but we're going to be covering college football content all season long. We appreciate you being here more than you know. We'll plan on seeing everybody next week for a topic to be named. Jake, why don't you do the good thing for the people? Tell them good night and take us away.
Yeah. ShopNoRivals.com. Use code PTFS. We love you all.
Thank you.
I just got a text from JP to run that, so I had to make sure we did that. But happy National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. We cover everything around here, fellas. We'll see you next week. Let's play it.